He will take on the champ, Eddie Alvarez. Eddie will be joining us in just a few moments via satellite from Philadelphia. All right, he has caused quite a stir throughout his career. Nick Diaz has not lost a fight since 2007. What a tear he is on, 11-0 at one time. He talked about maybe just giving it all up in Strikeforce because he wanted a UFC shot. He talked about boxing at one time, you might remember. Then he gets back on the scene with the UFC, suddenly becomes the main event when the champ, George St-Pierre, is sidelined with an injury. He was dominant in his victory over B.J. Penn, and now Diaz gets his chance to take on George St-Pierre, as we said, Super Bowl weekend for that title. Wow, Nick, this has been some kind of ride for you, isn't it? Back in the spring, we thought you might be a boxer, and we'd be talking about something totally different than we are right now.
Yeah, it's been a lot of changes, and you know, it's been a lot different.
What's been the biggest thing? We all know you can fight. You're one of the talents out there. What's been the biggest difference? I imagine one of the biggest difference doing shows like this, showing up, getting more involved with the media, which the UFC encourages all its fighters to do, as you know.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's been embarrassing. You don't always, you know, come off the way that you want to, or you look the way you want to. You know, I had to go out there and, you know, and just act up and you know, become the evil villain and you know, calling guys out and stuff, and you know, but it seemed to have worked. You know, I'm getting the fights I want, and yeah, so you know, I can't complain right now at this point.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, there's no reason to. You know, I think it's turned out to be, I've said this, I think you're one of the most misunderstood guys out there, and I mean that, as you know. We were talking about a lot of different things backstage, had nothing to do with MMA fighting. You also might be a master public relations guy, you know that? I think I've just put this together. You might be the king of PR, man, because you've gone from leaving Strikeforce to be a boxer to now getting a shot at GSP.
Yeah, I was gonna go ahead and go down that road with the boxing, but you know, they gave me that fight, and you know, that's the fight I was asking for from the beginning. But you know, I was here first. Really, I've been a UFC fighter for longer than George St-Pierre has. I don't know if you know. Not a lot of people realize that. I've been fighting in the UFC, you know, before all of them. So I've been here first. I had more fights, and you know, I've fought the bigger names.
Better does it? Perfect scenario coming up. St-Pierre taking on Diaz, 143. It will be a super fight. It is Super Bowl weekend. And, you know, a lot of people think St-Pierre is one of the guys that's almost invincible. He's been on an incredible roll. As we said, Nick hasn't lost since 07. He has been on an amazing roll as well.
So, George, after Matt Serra, he's never been the same, you know, when he got dropped. And he really should start committing to punches, because he needs that. You know, of course, he's going to take Nick down. He's going to go to the ground. Can he keep him in the side mount, though? That's going to be the problem. I think he will work for a guard and start attacking from there. And every time when he's going to start fighting and getting back up, it's going to wear him down. He's got a lot of pressure on him, GSP, right now. You know, that's going to it's not going to be good for you for your lactic acid. You know, you're going to gas out sooner. It's a 5-round fight. You know, he needs to commit to his punches like he did in the early days. He's been knocking out people out with punches, and he's been knocking people out with kicks. So we need to see that back in order to, you know, really try to commit to punches, see if he can land one on Nick. Because on the ground, once it goes to the ground, I think it's going to be a really good game. I always said it also before, this is going to be a fight that GSP is going to be forced to fight. You know, unlike in the, you know, he fights very careful. We know this now, but now he's going to be forced to fight, and I think it's going to be the best.
I'm taking a big guess as Nick was looking back on that fight with GSP and Shields that you wouldn't mind to see George come right out and stand up with you right out.
Yeah, well, you know, me and Shields have got a lot of similarities depending on how we're going out there fighting. So it's good to see, you know, it's good to see what's what. And I just fought a guy that he's fought before, so I'm sure that's good for him to see what's what with that. But you know, it's all about how you come out and fight. You know, it can always go different. You know, it's I can go on bottom a lot, but it's like, you know, are you going to be able to advance position? Are you going to be able to do damage from there? Are you going to stall? Are you going to fight? You know, there's a lot of different stuff can happen, and it's up to me to try to kind of make some stuff happen in 5 rounds. it's a lot of time for me to work with in this one, and I enjoy fighting 5 rounds. Change your plan up for 3 rounds instead of for 5 rounds just a little bit. Make sure you come on top of that first round. Is really important in 3 rounds. 5 rounds, 5-round fight. So
yeah,
you
your game planner. You really work and look at his fighting.
I think it's important to plan everything.
Yep.
And my plan is to have a plan for everything, and that's always so. I think that's what I'm good at. That's what I bring to the table here. So we'll see how that goes. Now he's fighting somebody that does everything, and that's gonna do everything.
Yeah.